Hello boys and girls, this week in art we are going to learn how to create a one-point perspective by making an aquarium. You are welcome to use any materials you have at home to complete this project. I will be using markers and colored pencils, but you are welcome to use paint, crayons, and anything else you have available to you. To start our aquarium, we're going to draw an X on our paper. You can see I folded the paper to create those lines. You are welcome to fold it if you would like to, or you can just draw from one corner to the opposite corner a diagonal line and then another diagonal line on the other side to make that X. In the top section, you're going to create little arches that go from the inside of those two lines that intersect and across to the other side and to the stopping point where the other line is that you drew on the other side. So if they go off the page, that's okay. Keep them going because that's going to make it look like a tunnel for your aquarium. Now you're going to draw some straight lines going down to that middle section on where the other X line is. So you're connecting those lines to create that tunnel, and then do the same thing on the other side. So now it looks like we have a tunnel for our people to walk down and observe the different animals inside the aquarium as they walk through this part of the aquarium. So now I'm drawing some horizontal lines, and that's going to be for the walkway. And to make it look one-point perspective, we're going to draw from that center point some straight and diagonal lines to make our walkway look like we're all going towards that one point in the distance. So it might start with diagonal lines, and then when you get to the center, it'll be a straight line and then diagonal lines on the other side. Once I have everything drawn in, I'm going to use my black marker and trace over my pencil lines. Now I'm going to start coloring in my tile, and it's going to be a checkerboard, so every other tile is colored in, and the previous tile above it, if it's white, then the next tile underneath it is going to be black. So we're creating that checkerboard pattern design by coloring in every other square. Now I'm just going in and making those lines a little bit darker on top, and that's just going to bring out the top of the wall of the aquarium. Now is the part where we get to add our animals, our aquatic animals. So we can add turtles, we can add starfish, we can add jellyfish, and lots of different types of fish, even sharks. And so the important part is to remember that as we get farther and farther away, things are smaller and smaller. So if they're close up, they're really big, but the closer they get towards the center point where all those lines meet, the smaller they are going to be. So you can see here I'm creating some seaweed. It's really small where all those lines meet, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger the closer it gets to the edge of the paper. And that's creating the illusion that we are in a hallway looking at all these aquatic animals and seeing them as they are close up next to us and super, super far away in the distance as they appear smaller the farther away they are from us. So it's just creating the illusion of a three-dimensional place. So I've placed the seaweed on both sides, going from big to small or small to big. The closer it gets to that center point where the X meets right in the middle, the smaller it's going to be. Now at the top, I'm going to add some different types of fish, and I'm starting out by creating an oval with a rectangle and some triangles for the fins. And I think this one's going to be a shark, so I'm putting a triangle fin on top and a triangle opening for his mouth. I'm going to make a teeny tiny fish in the distance, and because they're so small, they're not going to have much detail. But the closer they are, the more detail they should have. So the closer they are, I'm going to have more detail so you can see the fins and the eyes and all the details and colors that they have really close up. So make sure as you're adding your aquatic animals, your fish, your sharks, any animals that you want to add, that you have lots of details as they are close up, and then little teeny fish in the distance, way, way far away, and they're going to be just teeny tiny, and they're not going to have a lot of color to them. They might just have a single color like orange instead of orange and red and yellow and lots of different designs that you would see on them if they were close to you. So make sure to place lots of different fish and lots of different animals inside your aquarium, things that you would normally see in the ocean. Lots of little fish, lots of big fish that are close to you, maybe a puffer fish like I added, and all over the place there needs to be lots and lots of little animals. So make sure that you don't forget to make it full of lots of animals. All right, now that I have all my animals in and I have my aquarium the way I want it, I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to trace around all my pencil lines. I might even add more details with my pencil, such as the scales on the fish and maybe even the shell on the turtle. And make sure you erase your pencil lines. And now we're going to go in and color in our aquarium, making sure that we are coloring around our animals so that they can still stand out. Don't color over them because then they'll blend in. You can do a darker blue for the deep, deep ocean, or a lighter blue for the top of the ocean, however you want to make that. But add lots of details and make your animals really stand out. All right, boys and girls, so here it is. We created a 1-point perspective aquarium with lots of big fish in the foreground closest to us. And as we walk down the hallway, as we look down the hallway, they look smaller and smaller. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see what you create.